see if we can at least separate you from the entity that ended up in this reality. And I need you to try and come into the vortex, okay? Come into the vortex. Come into the vortex. Get in. Get in. All right, is your life energy able to be transferred? Is it getting in?
I want to remind you that I'm here in Ukraine as a missionary, and I depend on your donations to live while I'm here. But I'm ministering to the Ukrainians. I do not ask Ukrainians to provide support for me while I'm here as a missionary at all. It's not right. I depend on you. I depend on my American and European brothers and sisters. And if you're in another country abroad and you want to donate, please do. I ask that every one of you who also sense this mission of what I'm doing, not only in Ukraine, but also in the restoration of the scriptures, the testimony of God, that you donate something. You be part of this ministry. Not everyone is supposed to be abroad on missions. They are doing what they're supposed to be doing where they're doing it. But step up and support us who are out on missions. But here in Ukraine, I'm ministering the gospel of Jesus Christ to the Ukrainians who are suffering, who are in need, who are at a ripe time in their history to hear the gospel of Jesus. I need you. I need you to step up. I need you to donate support for me here in this ministry. Just do that. Just donate at the link in the description down below. And it's in every video. Just click on the link. It's very easy. It's through Stripe. Now on with the lesson. So today we're going to be looking at a video by Luna Bloom, who is an ASMR artist, a very popular one. And the reason why we're looking at her is that she has done something with the Mandela effect to combine it with a form of witchcraft. Now she's got some other videos too, where she exhibits that she practices witchcraft. She may not call herself a witch. She may not consider it witchcraft, but it literally is. We'll get into that. Okay, so let's go.
Okay. Yeah, you are definitely definitely not from here. Not from here. Okay, hold on.
So what does she mean, not from here? Well, she's referring to something about the Mandela effect. Now, many of you have probably heard of it, maybe in a meme or something, but it's a serious issue. It's a very serious issue. It started when this astrologer, that should tell you everything right there, noticed that Mandela was still alive, and she had supposedly remembered him being announced as dead. And then they announced that he was being let out of prison or something like this. And so she said, well, hold it, that's not possible. He's dead. I explicitly remember the news broadcast. And so she checked up on it, and he wasn't dead. And she remembers very clearly that he was. And then other people started also, after she started talking about that, they also started to remember the same thing. Now, some have explained that away. Some explained that it wasn't Mandela who died, but an associate of Mandela who died in prison. I think that's the explanation that was given, something like that. And so Mandela's name was mentioned, but that likely the person who mistook it as Mandela dying wasn't paying attention to the broadcast at the time and just heard it in the background. And so if they had said that it was Mandela's associate and then gave his name, then I wouldn't have known the difference because I wasn't paying attention. Now, I've made a whole bunch of videos on the Mandela effect, and a lot of them are addressed to those who are ardent fanatics of the Mandela effect. So you can go and watch that playlist up here if you're interested. But there's one theory that says that some people are passing across different timelines. Some say they're different universes, alternate universes, where just certain details are different. And so I remember also the moment when people started saying that it was happening to Scripture. And they said, well, it says, used to say, the lion shall lie down with the lamb. But now when you look in the Scriptures, any of them, it says that the wolf will lie down with the lamb. And they're like terrified because they think a wolf represents the enemy always in Scripture. And it represents like false teachers, right? And so with the wolf lying down with the lamb, that sounds like the apostate church, right? So they're terrified about it. But as I've researched it, I found out that this has been misquoted over and over again, including Martin Luther King Jr. in one of his speeches, including There Will Be Peace in the Valley. Elvis Presley singing it too. But it's in the hymn, so it's not just Elvis Presley. So the hymnist actually misquoted it or changed it on purpose to make it seem more in line with evangelicalism and pointing to Jesus as the lion and Jesus as the lamb. I mean, it sounds nice, the lion and the lamb, but it's actually the wolf and the lamb. So, and people argue with me and say, no, it's not. It's always been the lion and the lamb. And they'll keep arguing. And you can't show them the text because they claim that reality itself has been changed in order to support their view of what it's supposed to be. So when someone gets that fundamentally screwed up, it's hopeless. They're lost. There's no way to reach them. All you can do is pray that God will miraculously intervene. That is the most lost that you can get. Where you refuse to listen to voices of reason. For some reason. The Antichrist, as I explained, watch the video up here. You'll learn everything you need to know about the Antichrist. And it's not evangelical view of the Antichrist either. It's biblical view and only biblical view. So that's the problem that we've got also with the Mandela effect. Let's go on with she's doing a role play here, so it seems. But by the time you get to the end and you reflect back, then you realize it wasn't just a role play. Now, I've prayed in advance here for your protection, and mine, of course, against the witchcraft. But I want you to be very alert. And if you feel overly sensitive about this, I want you to turn it off. Now on with the video, and let's see what she has to say and what she's doing. And as I said, if you feel overly sensitive about it, turn it off. All right? But if you can make it through, then I think you're going to learn something very, very important. Because this is a video that's put up as if it's a role play. But in fact, she's doing something in witchcraft. Here we go.
Okay, not to worry. We are going to get you back in the correct timeline, okay? I just need to figure out what timeline you are from. So I'm going to just ask you a few questions. It's going to be okay. Just stay still, stay calm. It's going to be all right. Okay.
Notice she uses this calming motions and with her hand and with her voice and with her words to try to disarm you. Don't be disarmed. Okay?
So, first question, what year did Nelson Mandela die?
See? First question, what year did Nelson Mandela die?
All right, okay. And how do you spell Bernstein Bears?
And you say, what? She's bringing up different things that those who are advocates of the Mandela effect say has changed. Bernstein Bears, they claim, is spelled differently than how it is in our history, looking back at the Bernstein Bears. They claim that it's changed. They claim that many other things have changed. like Philips, the company Philips, that it had 2 L's, not 1 L. But Philips is a Dutch name. It's the name of the family who owns the company. And it's a Dutch name, and they don't spell it with 2 L's. That's an English version. And over even in England and the US, they still spell it the way they spell it, with 1 L. And they always have. It hasn't changed. It's a Dutch name. So that's where the American ignorance creeps in as well. It allows them to be hoodwinked like that. All right, let's keep going.
All right, next question. Okay, and is it Captain Crunch or Cap'n Crunch?
Yes, most of these focus on brands and brand names. That's where most of the supposed changes are. And that's a very suspicious thing, isn't it? It's like brand names. Why would just brand names change? Well, then after we started pointing that out, then some of them started coming up saying, oh, well, Antarctica was a lot closer to Australia or New Zealand than it is on our maps. And so I researched that and I found an explanation for it and I showed them. Oh, they didn't like that. They said, no, absolutely not. That's been doctored. There's no talking to them. There's no reasoning with them. They want it to be this way and they act like they're God. They refuse to hear anyone else's evidence, proof, opinions, anything. Let's keep going. So Bernstein Bears.
Okay, is it Flintstones or Flintstones?
Really? That's one that they say also. So Bernstein Bears, 1 letter has changed. Flintstones, 1 letter has changed. That it was without and now it's with, or it's without now and it was with the T. How do you spell Oscar Mayer? M-A-Y-E-R or M-E-Y-E-R? Aha, see? This is what it started out as. I mean, it started out as, when did Mandela die, right? But aside from that, the only ones they had early on were just brand names. They were 1 letter off. You were from another timeline. That's what she's reinforcing throughout this. But that's not what she believes. And that's not what she's doing. She's not doing anything about a timeline. And we'll get to that at the end. This is the surprise. I want you to watch all the way through if you can.
Okay, do you have to take your shoes off at the airport, or is that super weird to you as a concept? Okay. How are your polar bears doing? They're thriving. Okay, wow.
Because our polar bears are dying off.
Okay, this is a new finding. We've actually never found anybody from your timeline before, so it might be a bit of a challenge, but we are going to get you back into your timeline. And if we can find an extra ticket, maybe I'll go too.
All right, that's an important thing to remember. She drops this suggestion that if they can find an extra ticket, she might go too. Okay? Kind of giving the person hope that he's not going to be going alone, or she's not going to be going alone. And feeling more comfortable with her. And trying to feel more comfortable with her emotionally right there, because she might be going also. And so that's still a trick to try to disarm you. These are all tricks to disarm you. And you don't know it until the end with what she does to you.
Okay, do you remember your name? And date of birth? Okay. We haven't actually gotten there yet in our timeline, but...
So she's indicating, and I didn't catch this the first time through, or the second time through, but she's indicating that the person was born in the future. Another timeline, but in the future.
I'm going to run a few exams, and then we are going to see how we're going to go about sending you back into the correct timeline, okay? So I just need to make a few notes. If you don't mind, just need to make a few notes about that because we are going to be sending
This illegible or inaudible speech that she does is an ASMR tactic. And you'll hear this in a lot of ASMR videos. But what she's using it for here is, again, to disarm you. It's ASMR. And ASMR actually stands, I can't remember, autosomatic, I don't remember, to try to explain the goosebumps you get. Some people get goosebumps with some of these, what they call triggers. Like her inaudible speech is a trigger. Tapping is a trigger. Doing like this, writing on the screen without writing, is a trigger, right? Her hand motions are triggers. These are all triggers. She has a famous one that she created, maybe, we're not sure. She says she didn't, but everyone thinks she did. Where she just says good, 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 good. It's like good, 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 good over and over again, but she just like taps her tongue. Good, 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 like this. And she'll do that, and that's her unique trigger. These triggers are designed to create a nervous response that is like an excited nervous response that causes your muscles to like disengage. And it sounds scary, doesn't it? It's very close to the sleep paralysis that many men, I've never heard of a woman having it, but maybe, but many men, Christian men especially, have had sleep paralysis. And so we do indicate it's a demon who's doing that. But it's a very similar thing, where it's using the nervous system, the nervous cord, the nerve cord, to go down and out and disarm the muscles. And you feel a tingling sensation, like, and you can get goosebumps too. Let me also indicate that she is a publicly known lesbian. Okay, so that's another aspect to keep in mind as we build the character of this lady, and we examine her practice here through this video. Now, just because she's a lesbian doesn't mean she's practicing witchcraft, right? But definitely it means that she is practicing sin, and she's living in sin. So we must keep that in mind.
I am also just going to be writing down anything that is new for us so we can have a sort of a better idea of what timeline you come from, as well as for scientific research, because this is really interesting. So
now, she did that whole little series right there of things she said was to make you feel special. That you're so special, you're creating new data for us in our science. It's exciting, and like touching your face, right? Like you're special.
okay, so before we scan you again, there is going to be a lot of scanning for these tests. No worries, it doesn't hurt, and it's not going to affect you once you go back into your actual timeline.
So she's telling you that it's not going to affect you. Well, you don't know that. You don't know what she's doing when she's scanning you. She might be sucking your life force out, and that's actually an issue that's going to be coming up here that she'll overtly say. So you don't know what these people are doing when they're doing these things. Now, like I said, I've prayed for you, and I've prayed for me in advance. So you don't have to worry. But if you do feel sensitive about this, turn off the video, go watch another video of mine. You can go watch the ones on the Mandela effect. You can go watch the one on the Antichrist. You can go watch any of them. I have 1,000, I don't know, 1,500, 1,700 videos on the channel. So there's a lot for you to work through, and they're all beefy, and they'll all teach you something that you likely will not learn on any other Christian channel. And all of it's rooted in the Bible. Let's keep going. with Luna Bloom and her witchcraft.
Very good. All right, I'll have some too.
Again, she's breeding familiarity by drinking from the same cup.
Okay, very
Disarm
good. We're just
you.
going to let that settle in. I've called in my assistant, and he's just going to kind of check in for you.
Now, this is where it gets weird. But this goes back to some of the toys and things that she integrates into her ASMR. And you might look at it and say, oh, that's harmless, you know. It's not harmless. You know about those little dolls that are made of people, voodoo dolls. You know those little dolls that the Native American Indians make of demons. So just because this is going to be a doll, don't think it's harmless. Be careful. Don't let your guard down.
And he's a specialist, so he's going to know without needing the scan. So he's just going to take a good look at you. He's just going to look at you and sort of see. Okay. All right. Hey. Okay.
Now,
so
some
the
of you might
answer
be
is
scared by
whether
that.
or not he is able to be squished. So we are going to try it. If he's able to be squished, then we have a little bit more results than we thought we would. So okay, here we go. Very good. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. And again. All right, so let me just sort through that. Okay, we're going to try one method and we'll see if that works. Okay, I need you to look right.
All right, now, this is the part I want you to be very careful about. If you feel any sensitivity at all on this, turn this off, okay? Now, she's done this in a couple other videos, but she usually draws like a spiral on her hands that all go, when she puts her hands together, it makes a spiral from markers that she drew on her hands. She calls it the vortex. And she tries to get you to go into the vortex. But she doesn't try to get you to go into the vortex. She tries to get your life force, that's your soul, into the vortex. Remember, soul in Greek means voluntary breaths of life. This is your life force that you're using to do life. So she's trying to capture your soul without calling it the soul, but life force, which is what New Agers call it, and witches call it as well. Life force, in order to avoid being accused of trying to capture your soul. So if you feel any sensitivity about this, then turn it off. I don't want you to have a bad conscience, right, from watching it. I have prayed for myself, I have prayed for you, and I have faith that Jesus is protecting us. This is good knowledge for you to understand what is going on. Here we go.
Okay, I need you to look right here between my hands, and I need you to try and come into the vortex, okay? Come into the vortex, come into the vortex. Get in, get in. All right, is your life energy able to be transferred? Is it getting in? No, okay, not working.
All right, she called it life energy, not life force, but it's the same thing. And notice she's commanding you to get in. She even tells you get in. It's not a suggestion. She's commanding you to get in. And then she's acting like you were not able to get in, and so now she's going to try something different.
Not working.
Notice she's disarming you again. That's right. Right after trying to get you to go into her vortex with your soul. Not your body, your soul. So she's criticizing reality. Now she's doing this in order to make you want to leave reality, because this is going to be the punchline. She is criticizing this reality. She's already said that your reality, your timeline, is much better than this one, this hellish one, as she calls. Interesting choice of words.
All right, look through here, all the way in. Okay, and again, and all the way in.
Notice she says all the way in. That's part of what she's trying to do, okay? Don't do what she says. Just watch the video. But she's trying to get you to look through all the way in, like you're leaning over like this into it. She's trying to get you to do that with your soul. Don't do it. All right, this is where I want you to pay close attention. All right, what is she going to try to induce? This is where she uses the phrase that reveals her cards.
I induce a sort of astral projection.
You know what astral projection is. This is where your soul leaves your body and travels to another place or time. Okay? This is witchcraft. Now, if you don't understand what she's trying to do by now, you will very soon.
See if we can at least separate you from the entity that ended up in this reality, okay?
Don't let that speed talk put you off and not understand what she said. Listen again.
See if we can at least separate you from the entity that ended up in this reality, okay?
From the entity that ended up in this reality. Separate you from the entity that ended up in this reality. Hold on a minute. So she's claiming that you are connected to some other entity who came to this reality also and dragged you along? Or is she talking about your body? She's trying to claim that your body is not part of you, but is foreign to you and isn't from this timeline either, where she is. That both you, your soul, and your body are from another timeline or other timelines, and that your body is not part of you, and therefore, in order to send you back to your timeline, that you've got to be separated from your body. Your soul has to be taken out of your body. I think now you're starting to get a hint about what she's trying to do. And she's creating a narrative around this Mandela effect thing and the timeline issue in order to trick you into letting her separate your soul off from your body, calling your body another entity that's not you. Listen again.
Astral projection. See if we can at least separate you from the entity that ended up in this reality, okay? So 1 second. All right, let's see. Okay.
Disarming you now after revealing her cards. Notice she keeps disarming you after critical times where you're learning more and more about what she's really trying to do. So she keeps disarming you more and more.
There might be something in my Rebel Princess guide about this. Okay. Let me see. I just have to enter the password. You can't look. Okay. There we go. Access granted. Okay. Time, no. Portals, time and space, no. Is gravity real? No. No. Moonstone, no. Ruid is born, no. Okay. The Monogon, no. Okay. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. It's okay. There's still hope. There's still hope. We are going to figure this one out, okay?
Disarming you more. And giving you hope. But notice she also used God. Not his name. Because God is not God's name. So it's not taking God's name in vain. Because that commandment actually means something different when you read it from the Hebrew. It means to carry around, like wear, God's name without your heart being able to grow anything from it. It's desolate, in desolation. So you're wearing the name of God in desolation. So she has nothing to do with that when she's saying, oh God, oh God, oh God. Okay?
You are lucky that you ended up in our lab. Okay, let's see.
Oh, see, making you feel special again.
Distilled dunamancy. No, but if all else fails.
So I've asked ChatGPT what this means, distilled dunamancy, from the Rebel Princess. And this is what it has to say. It says it's a poetic or fictional phrase likely invented for flavor in a fantasy or sci-fi setting, like the Rebel Princess. Let's break it down. Dunamancy, from dunamis, which is Greek, means power or force or potential. Yes, as a matter of fact, we get dynamite from that. In modern fantasy, especially Critical Role, dunamancy refers to a type of magic dealing with force, gravity, time, or potential energy. Distilled implies purification, concentration, or refinement, so highly focused or pure power. It's not exactly how I would translate it. But then it says, so the phrase likely means highly refined or concentrated force manipulating magic or energy. It's probably metaphorical. Of course it would say that because it's a materialist, AI is. Used to describe someone or something that embodies controlled, potent, raw power. Not a standard term, just colorful writing. No, because this is in context of magic. So it's a form of magic that deals with gravity and time, because she flipped through, she said gravity, no, right? So it's not just force. It's some sort of concentrated power across gravity and time. So she's saying that it might be the last resort.
Okay, here we go. Reports of shifting realities ending up in the wrong time.
There's that inaudible speech again. It's meant to disarm you.
Okay. I think I know what we can do. Let me just put this back. All right, I need you to simply...
All right, be careful here, because this mask here, but it looks quite evil. And she's going to ask you to do something. Don't do it. Okay, we're just watching the video, but we're not doing what she says. All right? So you have to resist that and don't do what she says. Just watch the video.
Look into the eyes of Hera, okay? Look into the eyes.
So I've also asked about Hedda. And apparently, as some of you may know, I don't know if you do, it comes from a TV series called The 100, used in the fictional Trikru language or Grounder language. Hedda means commander or leader, specifically the military political leader of the Grounder clans. It's a title of great reverence, often given to someone who carries the legacy of past commanders via a symbiotic AI called the Flame. So what they've done is they've used the AI in that to represent a demon who's possessing the person and channeling these previous commanders, supposedly channeling these previous commanders. So this is about channeling, this is about demons, cloaked in the terms like Hedda and AI. And then it says it's not a real world term. I would argue with that. Purely invented for the 100. I don't agree. Though it loosely echoes real world words, like, then they do a diversionary tactic, AI does. Like Dutch, hoofd, which means head. It doesn't sound like hoofd at all. Hedda. Not even close. Or Greek, Hedda. Or hedone. Hedona means pleasure. He says it's coincidental. So you got a demon being represented that is channeling all the previous Heddas through the current Hedda and is connected with hedonism from the Greek, Hedda, hedone, meaning pleasure. That, let me interpret for you. What she's trying to do here is she's trying to capture you under the control of a demon who will channel spirits through you at his pleasure. Do with you what he will. And that's what demons do. Remember, I don't know if I'll find the video, but I'll try. That I told you about some of the cosmology in the Bible, and one of the things with a demon, the Greek word means one who brings fortune. Could be good fortune or bad fortune, doesn't matter. He's just trying to get control over your life. That's what this is. That's what this is. All right, so do not do what she says. We're going to go ahead and play the video, but don't do what she says.
Look into the eyes until you see nothing else. Nothing else.
She wants you to abandon all things and give yourself over to this demon. That's why she's saying, look into his eyes until you see nothing else, nothing else, nothing else. That's to get you to abandon everything. And the finger tapping is to disarm you.
Nothing else. Nothing else. Good, good, good. All right, now close your eyes. Close your eyes, very good.
So she has you close your eyes immediately afterwards so that that's the last thing you saw. So it finalizes giving yourself over, abandoning everything for Heda, the demon. Now, I don't think that she's planning all these things out. She may be, but I don't think she is. I think she's being led by an evil spirit who's giving her these ideas for ASMR.
Okay, you are ready. Okay. Now, let's see if this works, okay?
All right, this is another one that she's done before, and this has also been played off as hypnosis. The vortex one was played off as hypnosis while she's actually trying to trap your soul. This one also, she's played off as hypnosis, but here she will tell you that she wants you to go into the flower. Here we go.
Let's see if this works. All right, look right here in the center
Don't
of the
do
flower.
it. Don't do what she says.
Very good. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Does anything seem familiar yet? No? Okay, that's okay. That's okay. All right, just go into the flower. Into the flower.
Don't do it.
Into the flower.
Notice the sucking sounds. Now, before she talked about your life energy, right? Trying to get your life energy into the vortex. Now she's trying to get you to go into the flower, and she's making a sucking noise like she's sucking your life energy from you. Now, like I said, I've prayed in Jesus' name over me and over you. So you're safe as long as you don't do what she says. Like I said, don't do what she says. We're just listening, we're just observing, but we're not doing what she says.
Good, 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 good. Okay, into the flower. Anything? No. Okay. So
Disarming you again with the inaudible speech and the writing on the screen.
okay, interesting.
Oh, now tapping, making you feel special.
Testing to see if maybe just some recalibration needs to be done. Okay.
So now she's indicating that she's going to try to do something quite different than what she's done so far.
And that's okay because it's going to work. Unfortunately, it means I can't come with you. And I know that may not matter so much to you, but your reality seems way cooler than mine. I'm so sorry you ended up in this hellish one. But that's okay. We are going to, if I could just get these.
So notice she does some things there. She still tries to indicate that she's friendly towards you, that there's nothing to be concerned about with her, because she would really like to go with you. But because of this drastic measure that they have to take to get you back, she's unable to go now, even though she had been hoping to go all along through this, right? While she's disarming you. But now she says she can't go. Why can't she go? Because she's going to do something very bad to you that she doesn't want done to her. But she, again, points to this reality, this timeline being hellish. In order to reinforce that you need to go, you need to cooperate with what she's going to do to you. That's what all this is about, is to deceive you and trick you. Just like the New Testament says repeatedly, the most repeated warning to Christians is do not be deceived. That's exactly what she's doing. And that's the only real tool the devil has to cause you to lose your salvation. I know many of you believe that you can't lose your salvation, but the Bible says the opposite. It doesn't say you can't lose your salvation. It says that no one can take it from you. But you can be deceived. And if you allow yourself to be deceived, then you yourself can throw your salvation away, shipwreck your faith, destroy it. So let's go ahead and see what she does.
Okay, we've figured it out. Are you ready? Are you ready to go? Okay.
Okay, so here she is. She's got you. You're deceived into believing her narrative, which you already kind of believed anyway, because it was first salted into the world by a witch who was posing as an astrologer. So now she's got you believing that narrative, and she's got you believing that she has your good intention in mind. She's got you believing that where she's sending you is far better than here. She's got you believing that your real self, was hijacked by another entity and brought to this timeline, and that they need to separate you out from your body. And she's even indicated that through astral projection, so to speak, right? So that's what she's done while disarming you all along the way, and also trying to get you under the power of a demon named Hedda. Now you start to see how devious this is. Let's keep going.
So first, you have to take one of these pills, okay? There you go. Okay, good. Okay, let that sit. Let that sit for a second, okay? Good. Okay, step one. Okay. Now, just need to get this on you. Okay. All right. One more sip.
Well, she did some things to you that would make you take the pill. Then she's disarming you again with now she's getting you to drink some more of this stuff.
Very good. Swoosh that around. Okay. All right. And 2, 3, and 4. Initiated. All right. And now I just need to. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
So there you have it. She did it to you. I mean, not to you, right? But to the viewer of this video. She separated out their soul from their body and captured it. It's not the first video that she's done that. She's done it in a different form in other videos, where she actually says that she wants you to be consumed, and she wants you to want to be consumed. And this is where she's saying surrender, 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 give in to the vortex, and surrender, surrender. She keeps saying this over and over again. So when you think ASMR is harmless, you're already deceived. You need to stop that. Because if you don't, you will lose your soul. You'll be trapped forever. Because first you're going to be trapped under a demon's power, like this Hede, to do its will, its pleasure, Hede, Hedon. And then as you do its pleasure, you're not pleasing the Father who's in heaven. And Jesus said that that's the only way that you're getting into heaven, is if you please the Father who's in heaven. You do his will. And if you're doing the will of a demon, you can't be doing the will of the Father, which means you're going to hell. And after that, you'll be thrown into the lake of burning sulfur, which is everlasting torture. And you'll never, ever get out. You better take this seriously. ASMR is not something to play around with. Some artists are harmless, but many of the highest profile artists, especially the women, but not only, are witches. Some of them knowingly, some of them unknowingly. Some of them are just tools, but nevertheless, it's still witchcraft and demons that you're encountering. May the Lord bless you as you seek him with all your heart.